What is up? My name is GARRETT on Twitter, YOOGRRTT. Thank you so much for tuning into the Rotation YouTube channel. Welcome back to another album review. Today we are talking about the album Kirk by DaBaby. This has been out for quite a while now. Definitely been lagging, been slacking, but here we are nevertheless coming to you with a fat, ugly opinion. DaBaby is somebody who, with Baby on Baby, I believe his last project, album, mixtape, whatever you want to call that. You had blank before that, but Baby on Baby, it's really just his coming out party. That's where you had, Suge, you had Babysitter with Offset, you had a bunch of fucking breakout hits, some that have millions and hundreds of millions of plays on the YouTubes, etc. And that was really the point where you just saw DaBaby pull up and just be on the featuring of every single album of the past year. Definitely 2019, he's just fucking everywhere. But with his second coming out party, it's kind of basically just, this is where you capitalize. This is where you scrounge it in. This is where you acknowledge all the people who are looking at you. This is where you acknowledge how fucking exactly big you are in comparison to the shows that you're now selling out, the XXL cover that you were placed on. There's a lot of things that happened in DaBaby's career this year that just kind of makes him super comfortable. But now it's time to capitalize. Now it's time to come through. Now it's time to shine. And that's kind of what Kirk does, is just kind of allow him to have 13 tracks to just exfoliate and just fucking exist and just be like, hey, this is great tracks. These are great musics. This is great examples, but here's more content for the people to just enjoy, to eat, to feed the streets, if you will. But let's look at the track list. Track number 1, you do have track number 1, Intro. Track number 2, Off the Rip. Track number 3, Bop. Track number 4, Vibes. Track number 5 is Popstar featuring Kevin Gates. 6, Gospel with Chance the Rapper, Gucci Mane, and YK Osiris. 7, iPhone with Nicki Minaj. 8, Toes featuring Lil Baby and Moneybagg Yo. 9, Really featuring Stunner for Vegas. Track number 10 is Probably Heard. Track number 11 is Raw Shit featuring Migos. 12, There He Go, and 13 is XXL. Standout tracks for me, definitely Intro was the standout single, the lead single, but featured one of the coolest videos, but also kind of a different switch up side to DaBaby, where I actually wanted to take a step back when I first heard this and just be like, wait, whoa, hey, this lyricism is also equally fantastic, but it's being used in such a positive and uplifting manner, mixed with the gospel-y sound of that beat. I thought that was just such a cool example of what DaBaby could do to kind of get introspective and actually talk about a little bit more than just the face value of just beating people up and punching them in the streets and just being the ultimate flexer, which he does very well. But on Intro, he does touch on things such as his father passing, his grandma being an influence in his life, a lot of things, just growing up and now having to support his children and being a father himself, and just the juxtaposition between grinding your ass off and now being at a place where you're just succeeding and shining and making all this money and just being a fucking success that he is. But on this second studio album, I do feel like that's as deep and as any introspective tracks that you're gonna get. That's pretty much the one. That's the best example of it, and I think it's a phenomenal fucking track. Probably would end up being in my top 50 tracks for this year if I had to make a fat fucking list. But yeah, this track really does stand out, but never does it get more surface level than that, or more deeper than that. The rest is pretty surface level as you continue with the track. And to call it Intro, and also have this be the lead single, I was expecting to have a lot more of real topics and just a little bit more of a different side, a little bit more of a flip on the DaBaby fucking tough ass guy persona that he very easily displays and very easily is. But I don't know, like onions, there's layers. That Shrek told us that, and I feel like DaBaby could be a little bit more maybe there's some layers behind there. What's going on? But then you just get into Off the Rip, Bop, Vibes. I feel like all three of those definitely have the same vibe, definitely have the same just feel, tone. They're kind of like the pop clubby kind of feel, I guess, in a way. They each have like this interesting beat that kind of focuses in on this one specific tone that is kind of like flaring, whether it's like boom, 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 like little things like that where it just kind of continues, and it's like, damn, this is actually catchy on a beat style, as well as just the way that he's able to obviously do that DaBaby flow where it just continues and goes and doesn't stop. But looking forward, Popstar I think is a song that shouldn't work, but Kevin Gates is just the man always, so he's definitely a wonderful feature on this album, and I feel like that song actually does kind of stand the test of time, which I didn't expect to happen. Looking at gospel, you look at these tracks where there's like multiple features and they're big names and they're bigger than sometimes, or more OG if you will, maybe not more poppin' in the times, but definitely kind of Gucci Mane and Chance the Rapper. They've been around for a while, so of course we're gonna throw them on there and you're gonna get a fire ass song. And YK Osiris, he's like a contemporary with DaBaby. He was shouted out on his last album on the XXL cover with him this year. Only Made Sense, and this song just doesn't work for me at all. YK Osiris is fine, Gucci Mane's fine, Chance the Rapper's fine, DaBaby's fine. It's just a fine song. iPhone is a song that I did not enjoy, but I do enjoy because Nicki Minaj's verse is actually so goddamn fire that it all just works together. And then by the end of the song, you're like, wow, I was doing this most of the time, and this is good. This is good shit, and that is really all I gotta say. Nothing, not standout, but really my standout is There He Goes. That song to me is just so fucking fun. It's London on the track, and you just get some of the most fun, but also kind of experimental. Like they throw in this crazy instrumental sound that just kind of plays in, and it's just so refreshing in comparison to kind of like what you would expect if you see Little Baby, Moneybagg Yo, and DaBaby on a song. While It's Fire, or Stunning for Vegas, like these things all can make sense in my head. But when I got to There He Go, and I felt the freshness of the beat, the freshness of like how he's tackling it and actually making like an interesting track around it. I don't know, it worked for me. XXL, it's catchy, but that's also the freestyle that he had during XXL, or I think it might have been a cypher. Regardless, it was his cypher. This is basically just the XXL cypher on steroids, with maybe a better beat, who's to say. But if you know it, you know it, and you're gonna sing along. And to close it out with that, I think is a fire ass verse, just fine. But it ended up being one of my standout tracks, I can't lie. I did go back to it way too many times. But yeah, this album works. This album's great. I just don't think that if I were to call out real standout tracks, like literally it's like intro, maybe vibes or bop, one of the two. I get those two mixed up because those three, basically 1 through 4 flows fantastic. iPhone's really grown on me, but really There He Go and intro and like XXL, those are like the ones that I've been playing. But the rest of the album is fine. I think he does good jobs at making that style of music that he has been doing, and I don't think this expands on that like range that much. But at the same time, if you're just a fan of this and DaBaby's the best rapper to you, then this is probably all you'll ever need, and this is all you'll ever eat for the rest of the year. Like pretty much music stopped once DaBaby dropped this, I would assume. But the album Kirk does only show for sure that DaBaby is the man. DaBaby is poppin'. DaBaby is the hottest artist out right now, and I don't think anyone can make a discussion or an argument for anyone else, just as far as like how much revenue this guy has to be bringing in. And with only 2 projects under his belt, both Kirk, Baby on Baby, I think Baby on Baby is still just one of a better album overall, but Kirk is also just a great addition to that, and is clearly riding on the waves of the success of those songs. But this offers many good ventures that again just builds this guy's discography and just puts a bigger crown on his head. So we'll see how much it lasts. I'm looking forward to the longevity of this man's career, but you know, this album's fine. Kirk, DaBaby, just fine. Go listen to it, check it out. Sorry for the late review, but here we are. Hello. You can follow me on Twitter at YoGarrett, YoGRRTT, Instagram as well. Now in rotation on those 2 platforms as well. Take care of yourselves. Thank you for all the support. I love you, and that is all, folks.